Hey guys, Russell here. This is our XPENG G6. It's a standard range and it has an inbuilt dash cam, and I want to share that with you in this video. Alright, so let's make this full screen, and in the top left hand corner here you can see a number of icons, and one of the icons is a picture of a video recorder, and you can see there's a little red light flashing. Now whenever there's a red light flashing, that's a pretty good indication that something's being recorded. So let's click on that little icon and you'll see it says driving recorder, recording in progress. Records car surrounding footage continuously and saves it to USB drive. Now, rather than dash cam, XPENG calls it driving recorder. So how we get to that is a number of ways, but let's go to all of the icons on the screen here. And over here, you'll see DVR. Okay, if we press on DVR, that'll take us into where the dash cam or the driving recorder options appear. Now, if we go back to the main screen here, I've created a little shortcut just here. If we press that, it'll take us to the same area. And as always, we've got our details or main categories, as I like to think of them, on the left-hand side here. And in each one of these, there may be subcategories along the top that you can dig further into. Now, I've had a couple of questions recently about this particular display. And despite the fact that the screen is actually very customizable, you can have it full screen like that, you can have a split screen, you can swap those screens around, you can drag them a little wider and a little closer. There's lots of options here. However, once you are in the settings mode here, where all of the categories are on the side, that's not a display that you can change. So for example, you could not have these on the right hand side, which if you are 5'7" or 5'2" or 3'1", might be a little bit easier for a driver to reach. So instead we've got to reach over here to the left side. So unfortunately that can't be swapped. Now, I just had a bit of an afterthought in regards to this menu being a long way away from the driver for someone with really short arms. But look, whilst you can't swap these there's categories here to the right hand side, what you can do, if it helps, is to drag the little white line and bring it maybe to halfway or a little further than halfway. So if you go too far, like I just did then, you'll lose the setting. So you do have to bring it back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's about sort of 2/3, 1/3 is about as close as you'll be able to bring it. So that might be helpful. You can also put other options in here, the map, the music, and whatever else you want to put in there. But that might help to bring it just that little bit closer for those who are sort of struggling to reach way over here to the left side from the driver's seat. So I hope that helps. All right, so let's go back to our dash cam settings. And here we have the submenu emergency or regular. So as we're looking at the regular footage here, you can see the dates, and it's broken up into 1 hour or grouped together in 1 hour lots. So we can just scroll down, and at the moment I've got a 512 megabyte USB drive that's in the slot down here underneath the center console. There's a USB-A, a USB-C, and a 12-volt power socket here as well. Now you must have a USB drive plugged in, otherwise the dash cam simply won't work. There's nowhere to record the footage to. So as soon as you plug it in, you'll get all of these options and be able to start using it. All right, so there's a regular footage. Just if we pick anything, it may be difficult for you to see because I'm recording a screen which is then being edited, which is then being uploaded. You're watching it on your screen. So the quality may not be that great, but sitting in the car here watching it with you now, it's actually really good footage. I'm pretty impressed with the clarity. So along the top here, we've got some options. You can see the speed that's being displayed, green on the foot, so the pedal is being pushed. There's some other options here. What I don't understand, so feel free to help me out in the comments if you do know, is why the little seatbelt icon is not showing green. I have seen some incidents where that was showing red, and of course not while driving. So yeah, interesting as to why that is not showing green at the moment. The indicators will come on when you're turning, and of course we've got the date and the time displayed up here. So this is really good information if you ever have an insurance claim, where not only can you provide the footage, but you can provide important information like, I was doing the speed limit, I was braking at the time, or I was indicating, for example, or whatever it might be. All right, so we'll just touch the screen here to bring the options back up, and we'll go back to the previous screen. Now, emergency here is a subcategory, and I'll quickly show you this because here I am fast charging recently, and you'll see down the bottom there's a little red dot here. That indicates some sort of incident that the car has detected, and it's probably not our little postie driving past there on his bike, but if we keep playing and we'll scrub forward a little bit, let's play that now, we should expect to see some sort of incident that the car has detected. Now, nothing actually happens, so let's go back a little bit and we'll change to the surrounding cameras. And as we cross over that little red dot, which indicates the incident, again, there's nothing there. So sometimes that will happen. I suppose it's better that it's a little bit sensitive than not sensitive enough. Now, what you can't do in this configuration is to press on one of these and have that blow up into full screen. You get the 4 options, or you have the main option, which is the front view, like so. Okay. All right, so let's go back to here. So that's what we're talking about under driver recorder or dash cam, basically, regular and emergency footage. Now, we can download the footage, and we'll get to that in a moment, but let's go on to the next category, which is Sentry Mode recordings. Now, Sentry Mode is where you want the vehicle to record whilst you're not with it. So you might park at the shopping centre, go into the shops, come back an hour later. The vehicle has been recording in all 4 directions whilst you've been away. If there's an incident, similar to what we just saw, that incident will be recorded. Now, you can see there's a little red exclamation mark here, so that's certainly caught my attention. If there is an incident, there is a notification on the app as well. Now, you can't view the footage on the app, but you will get a notification. Now, it's not a push notification where your phone jumps up and down and vibrates and goes bing bing and has some sort of display on the screen. Instead, you just get a notification into the app, which doesn't really alert you until you go into the app and then you see there's an issue. Now, I might be mistaken and I may have missed some sort of alert, but if you've got a point of view on that, or have you experienced it, please share it with the group by whacking a comment below the video. Let's have a look at this one. So here we are charging again. Actually, this was at Glenrowan McDonald's on our recent road trip. All 4 bays were available. We were able to plonk ourselves there and park. Now, I don't know where the issue is. Here's the little red dot here. So let's bring it right up to there. We'll press play again. Okay, well, that's simply me coming back and removing the charger. You can see my chicken legs in the top right-hand corner there. And it's just me removing the charger. So obviously that was something that the vehicle felt was worthy of recording. All right, so let's go back again. And again, it's in month category there, and you can select whichever one you like. And we will look at how we can download that footage in a moment. All right, so managed storage is the next category. Again, that's just showing you in terms of driver recording or driving recording. So your general dash cam recording of both sort of normal and emergency. You can see how much is used and how much you've got left. You can safely eject the drive, and it's really important that you do that rather than just pulling it out. And a little bit further down, we have a separate area for Sentry Mode recordings. Now, I'll just read this for you because I'm sure the question will come up. In Sentry Mode, regular footage for Sentry Mode are kept for a maximum of 90 days and then will be automatically deleted. Basically, the new footage just overrides the old footage. Now, up here under the driving record, make sure the USB drive is perfectly plugged in, otherwise recording cannot be made. Force ejecting the USB drive may lead to damage or failure to store videos during recording. Before removing the device, be sure to tap Safe Eject. Now, I think that in an emergency recording, that footage, now I can't remember exactly, I read this somewhere, maybe in the manual, that emergency footage can be recorded elsewhere outside of the USB. Something to that effect. I might have to do a bit more research and come back to you on that one. All right, so that is the managed storage category. Then we have the DVR settings. Now, it'll jump straight to here, driving recorder. Now, you have to have this turned on, otherwise the footage just won't happen. It won't be recorded. And if you look up the top here, our little icon, the red light's disappeared because I've turned dash cam recording off. If we turn it back on again, we'll see the little red light will come back on. It's now recording again while I'm sitting here in the car chatting with you. All right, now we can elect to just record the main view, which is the front camera. I'm not sure why you would do that. Of course, it would take up more space to record everything, but the main view and surrounding view makes sense to me, so that's what I set it on. All right, Sentry Mode. Now, if you want the vehicle to record while you're away from it, going to the shops or whatever, you have to set, here's where I read it actually, I'll read that to you in a minute. Here's where you have to set Sentry Mode, and it'll ask you to enable it because it does use a little bit more battery power. Okay, you have to do that every time. It just won't stay on. So it won't stay on if you lock the car and walk away. You need to set that every time. And you can do it from the app as well. In the app, it's called Sentinel Mode, but you can remotely trigger Sentry Mode to come on. Emergencies will be detected and recorded when the vehicle is powered off. The recordings will be sent to the mobile phone immediately with notifications. Now, I'm not sure that's actually the case. Maybe it's coming soon in an update, but let's have a look at the little image. Okay, so something like that. There's a collision while your vehicle's parked. You get your little alert. I don't think it actually works like that just yet. After turning on Sentry Mode, the safety of the vehicle will be monitored during the lock and power off periods. When an exceptional event is detected, a video will be taken immediately. You can receive the video push in time through the XPENG app or view it on the digital recorder app. The digital video recorder app. The Sentinel video page. Okay, so I assume that is in the system here, not on the app. After getting into the car. Okay, so after getting into the car, you can review it on the screen. Since this function consumes a certain amount of power, it will only take effect during a single power off after being turned on. Okay, so there you go. So it's going to turn itself off after each time you lock the car and walk away. So you do manually have to set it every time. Here's some other images here, or some other information about the driver recording. We've sort of discussed this, so we don't need to go over it too much. Active panoramic image on narrow roads. Okay, this is getting into the area of our 360-degree camera, which is not quite the same as dash cam. Same with this. If you indicate, you'll get a little section of the screen here that will show you what's in the blind spot on that side. Okay, again, this is a little different to dash cam related stuff. So just very quickly, there is a 360-degree camera that you can access, and this image here is like the car being squished together like a pancake, and you're looking down from above to see what's either side of the car here. Now over on this side, you've also got another view, but it's the full vehicle. If you press on 3D, then what will happen is you'll get this little camera view here, and you can indicate where you'd like to view it from by hitting these buttons. So it will then change to 90 degrees. If we go to the back, you can see this is a live view of the back of the car. Okay, and you go in all four directions, and you can see the camera from that view. We can also drag it around like this, or you can drag it via this screen here, and you'll see the little camera is changing angles on the circle to the right hand side here. So pretty nifty, pretty nifty. Again, this is a live view, so maybe you're parked in an awkward spot, or you think there's something behind you or whatever, you can hit the 360 camera and bring this up. Now there's a little icon here in the top left when I'm in this view mode, which is our 360 camera mode. If I click on that, it jumps back to this situation here. So I'm not really sure. Maybe if I change that and then we go back to 360, is it only going to show the front? No, it's still going to show everything. So again, I'm not really sure why it takes you to here. But anyway, now that Sentry Mode sensitivity can be set. And we saw an example where it triggered and nothing happened. So maybe medium is still actually quite sensitive. You can adjust that if you need to. All right, so let's go back to our dash cam, and we're going to go to regular recordings. Now, if we want to download one of these pieces of footage, then what we can do is just click on that particular image recording, and we can use this little icon down the bottom right hand side here to download the footage. Now, the other way you can do that is to press the select button and then select the one that you want, and it'll just put a green tick in that box, and then we can press this button here to download it. So there's two ways to do that. Now, when we ask the system to download that footage, you'll see that we need to connect to the app, and it's via the app that we will access that footage on our phone. Well, that's probably not true. It's not via the app that you access it, but we need the app in order to download it to our phone, and it'll actually just appear in your photos section or folder. So let's have a look what happens when we click this button here. Okay, so it asked me to log in to this Wi-Fi that's connected to my vehicle and has a unique password specifically for this vehicle. And when I did that, options came up, and one of those, of course, is my phone. So if I click on that, it's now going to prompt me to open the XPENG app in order to receive my files. And you can see here that the app has opened now, and it's saying, would you like to receive 2 files from XPENG? And yes, I would. Okay, so it's doing that now. Already received. You can see on the screen, it's also got that confirmation of the files that I selected. Now, we get both the front view and the surround view. And if I go into my photos now, you'll see that both of those files have been downloaded. Alright guys, well there's a quick look at driving recorder or dash cam. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you in the next video. And hey, if you've already subscribed, thank you.